All right, Jets Nation. We have a ton of coaches to break down. Aaron Glenn is assembling his coaching staff before our very eyes, and I am very excited to break this down. Jets fans, you let me know in the comments right now your thoughts of the New York Jets' new coaches around Aaron Glenn. Let's get straight into business. Don't forget to hit the like button. Let's go. All right. Quick little update. I will be on the road in New Orleans covering the Super Bowl. Make sure you follow us over at Roundtable Sports on all socials to keep up with all the coverage at the Super Bowl in New Orleans. But let's get into business. The reason why this video is coming out a little later in the week is, again, I was at the Senior Bowl. I was covering it on behalf of Roundtable Sports. I just got home from Alabama yesterday. Now I'm here today packing up, and then tomorrow I'm going to the Super Bowl. So bear with me, folks, but I'm really excited. All right, you see the coaches that the New York Jets brought in on your screen, starting off with Aaron Glenn. We talked about him many, many times throughout the week. We also talked about him months ago. I wanted him very bad, and Woody Johnson made sure that he brought in Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn wanted the job, and he said he's going to assemble the best possible coaching staff he can possibly bring in, and now we're seeing it before our very eyes. There's still a lot of position groups that the Jets are going to hire, but as of right now, this is how it looks. Let's start off with the defensive coordinator, Steve Wilks. This is a guy that's been linked to the New York Jets for a while. I feel like ever since the Jets officially hired Aaron Glenn, we found out that Steve Wilks was going to be the DC, and that became official this past week. This is a guy that comes with head coaching experience, been in the league for a long, long time. And I'm really curious to see the style of defense he's going to bring to this Jets team. We know that this Jets defense is loaded with talent. It's just a matter of what they're going to do. Are they going to, bring back Jamie Sherwood in free agency, bring back DJ Reed in free agency? Don't really expect that. Fill out the defensive tackle position around Quinnen Williams. And I'm excited to see what Steve Wilks looks like as a play caller underneath Aaron Glenn. Now, the most important hire of everybody is Tanner Engstrand, the New York Jets' new offensive coordinator. This is a guy that is very intriguing to me. We all found out that Nick Caley did not want the job with the Jets. Okay, so Aaron Glenn decided to go into Detroit and steal away to Ben Johnson 2.0. And the reason why I call him that is because a lot of Detroit Lions fans were expecting Tanner Engstrand to be their new offensive coordinator when Ben Johnson left their building for a head coaching gig. Right when Ben Johnson left, Detroit Lions fans are like, all right, Tanner Engstrand, our passing game coordinator, he's next man up. He's going to be our OC, right? No, the Lions decided to hire someone externally, bringing in Morton over there, and then that opened up an opportunity for the Jets and Aaron Glenn to go bring in somebody that he's worked with for the last 3 to 4 years. Tanner Engstrand has 8 years of play calling experience at the collegiate level, and I feel like he's definitely going to bring a lot of wisdom to this Jets team. Now, this is his first time ever calling plays at the NFL level, so that's going to be important to see. His role for Detroit was game planning, helping Ben Johnson orchestrate the plays, designing the plays, being in all the meetings, of course, and picking the brain of Ben Johnson. And this is a guy that, also brings a West Coast style of offense that is really going to be, fit in what the Jets have been running. So that's a big question. Is Aaron Rodgers going to be here for the New York Jets? We shall see. That's the next domino that's going to fall. But bringing in someone that has a West Coast mindset from the offense, I think that is very in line with the modern day NFL. He's also coming from a Lions team that was very pass heavy. You got to get a tight end in order to really open up this offense, in my opinion. Expect the Jets to be looking at a big tight end via free agency or the draft. More specifically, the draft. This is one of the most deepest draft classes you'll ever see. At the Senior Bowl, there was a ton of tight ends I absolutely loved. Elijah Aroro from Miami was a guy I absolutely loved. Harold Fannin Jr. was a guy that was really separating himself as well. There's so many tight ends that I love at the Senior Bowl that I'll be breaking down as the draft comes closer and closer. But very excited about the addition of Tanner Engstrand. First-time play caller at the NFL level. This is a guy that's going to have some type of offensive assistant around him that it's like a veteran, hopefully, that I feel like the Jets are going to hire eventually. But as of right now, Tanner Engstrand is your new offensive coordinator. Let's stay on the offensive side of the ball real quick. Steve Hyden, which is, you can argue, the next most important position you got to hire for this Jets team, offensive line coach. We finally got rid of the guy, I'm not even going to mention his name, our former offensive line coach, because he's done with. He's absolutely gone. Don't even want to say his name. We bring in a guy that comes from a tight end coaching background. He was an assistant offensive line coach before. This is someone that is known to be really molding tight ends to learn how to block, and now he's our offensive line coach coming from Detroit, who is, arguably one of the best offensive lines in football. I love the Jets offensive line on paper right now heading into the offseason. Just one hole And depth is the big issue. If I'm the Jets, I draft an offensive lineman, bring back Morgan Moses, add depth interior, and we're all good to go. And then another thing on the offense, which is the only coach that we're really retaining as of right now, is Sean Jefferson. Our wide receivers coach is coming back to the New York Jets, which I absolutely love. He has a strong relationship with Garrett Wilson, which is very important. All the rumors around Garrett Wilson is definitely not good to see, but hopefully Garrett Wilson stays here with the Jets forever and we can extend him long term. Sean Jefferson is very respected around the NFL, and this is a big guy that the Jets are retaining that I absolutely love. Now let's go to the special teams. Chris Banjo, special teams coordinator, is going to be really intriguing. 34 years old. This is a guy that is literally just coming off playing in the NFL like 3 years ago. He's been an assistant special teams coordinator for the Denver Broncos for the last 2 years. A lot of people in the Broncos organization was raving about Chris Banjo as he was the next big coach in the ranks underneath Sean Payton. And of course, Aaron Glenn getting somebody from the Sean Payton tree is important here because Aaron Glenn is coming from the Sean Payton tree himself. Another key note here that's an overlap is Aaron Glenn was a defensive backs coach while Chris Banjo was a player for the New Orleans Saints, being a core special teamer, being a defensive back, so there is an overlap. There is chemistry there already. Absolutely love that. Chris Banjo is young. He's going to bring a fresh new dynamic to the special teams unit, something that we have not seen in a while. Brant Boyer has been our special teams coordinator for a long time, and it was about damn time that the Jets replace him for somebody else. No disrespect to Boyer, but we need new people in the Jets organization calling the plays and orchestrating the special teams unit. Now let's get into the defensive assistants. Eric Washington, the defensive line coach, coming from Denver as well. Chris Harris, defensive backs coach and pass game coordinator from Washington. And I feel like the biggest part of this, the biggest positional coach on the defense that I personally love is Aaron Curry, linebackers coach. He was the inside linebackers coach for Pittsburgh. And you think of the Steelers, I mean, they are loaded with talent and they really get the most out of their guys, specifically at the linebacker position. So Aaron Curry's coming over here, and a lot of Steelers fans are upset about it. So you look at what Aaron Glenn is trying to do here. He understands that the most important piece of building a coaching staff is compatibility, working together on a string, all having the same mindset, the same philosophy of how to approach the game. And I feel like this is going to be a really fun thing to watch. The main coaches that you got to look after, of course, is the coordinators right underneath Aaron Glenn and Engstrand, Wilkes, and Banjo, and then all the positional coaches. And then, of course, there's a lot of other coaches that are yet to be hired yet that I'm excited to break down as they all come out. Again, reminder, I will be at the Super Bowl in New Orleans this week, so I'm going to try my best to keep you guys up to date. Maybe I'll make some content at Radio Row, but wish me luck. It's a crazy whirlwind that I'm in right now, going from Alabama to New Orleans, back to New York in between, and woo, it's a lot of fun. But you guys, let me know your thoughts. I'm fired up about the Jets coaching staff. I mean, I keep rewatching the Aaron Glenn press conference and listening to all the things he has to say. He just breathes and speaks exactly what Jets fans have been waiting for. He's going to bring accountability. He's going to bring a culture. He's going to bring a sense of confidence, which is, I think, a really important thing. He's going to instill this organization with confidence, not just himself as Aaron Glenn, but I feel like what he's trying to do here is unlock the mindset of every single player in this Jets organization, all the coaches, to unlock a sense of confidence in themselves to become great, right? Because get that Jets stank out of the locker room. Why that's important is this Jets team this past season, I was saying it all season, like this team absolutely lost their self-belief in themselves. Like they're out there in the field, like hanging their heads like, yeah, we're doomed. Like there's nothing to be looking forward to. Like it felt like they gave up. And I feel like Aaron Glenn is going to reinstill that confidence, and the coaching staff underneath him is very important for that. So you guys let me know your thoughts. Let's go Jets. Woo! I'm fired up about this coaching staff. You guys let me know your thoughts. And Jets, Jets, Jets. Peace out, folks.